Today, I'm with David, who's a hypnotherapist. Thank you for joining us, David.
Thank you for inviting me, Pete. It's good to be here.
So before we go any further, please tell people about your business.
I'm a hypnotherapist. I'm in Cumbria, right up in the northwest, and I've got my own private clinic. It's only me. There's nobody else involved. But my business is called Cumbria Hypnosis Mindfulness Clinic.
That's wonderful. Can you tell us how you're using Pictory as part of your promotional activities?
Yeah, I've always believed in visual hooks for getting people's attention. And certainly since social media has become more prevalent, I've always been keen to get very visual posts out there that do the job as quickly as possible, grab people's attention and hook them in. So I've seen value in that over the years, but of course it's been very time consuming over the years to do that yourself, to find all the images, which now you can't even get the images without them having rights attached to them and all this kind of things. So that game's over. And then I think about 5 years ago, I joined a company called Vidnami, and they were very good at helping me to look at a different way of, optimizing that workflow and getting those videos out as quickly as possible. But things changed. And so Vidnami then led to the development of Pictory, I believe, as a new company and something that I was interested to keep pursuing once Vidnami was gone. And I've been with Pictory ever since.
That's great. Thank you for that introduction. We're really keen to learn how you're using Pictory within your workflow, because we talk about content marketing, we talk about video marketing, and surprisingly, perhaps even nowadays, some people don't really know what that means. So if you could just describe how you're actually using the product and the steps that you go through, I think people find that very helpful.
Well, in terms of my niche area of business, I mean, hypnosis, hypnotherapy is a niche area, and there's not a lot of real understanding around the topic. So what I use is visuals to break that down, and wherever possible for very specific treatment areas, like, for example, let's say gambling, smoking, weight loss, anxiety, I create these little, very short 2-minute videos that explain in detail what most people encounter in terms of problems and how to find the solution. And I find the combination of music, images, and of course for people to read the text at the same time a really effective way of getting my particular message across.
Okay, that's great. So do you use, in that case, the script to video function primarily?
I do. Primarily, that's how I go about it. I have no problem with writing scripts myself. And nowadays, of course, with ChatGPT, that becomes even easier. But I can very quickly, I would say within less than half an hour, I can produce something that's quality. I can produce something that gets quite a lot of likes and clicks, because I'm on Instagram as well. And everything that I show on Facebook tends to get transferred to Instagram. And, I get the kind of feedback that I'm looking for, where people are wanting to know more, or they've clicked on a link to my business page.
So you use it mainly then for educating the market and lead gen. Is that a fair summary?
That's part of it, but there's also another part, and that's the explainer videos that I do, because as a therapist, one of the key ways I teach is by doing, I'll show people a particular technique, and then I'll send them a video of how to do the technique. And so sometimes I need a talking head like mine with just the text underneath it. I mean, so if people want to see how I've used Pictory, they'll be able to go to, for example, my website and just see my introduction video, which talks about, it's like setting a brand where, they get a chance to meet me, but they can also read the text about what the business is about, etc. And, it covers a multitude of areas, not just simply Facebook. I use it for other areas too.
That's great. Would you mind shouting out your URL so that people can go and visit the website and have a look?
Yeah, absolutely. It's www.cumbria-hypnosis.com.
Great. So if you're watching this and you want to see Pictory in action, then head over to David's site and have a look at some of the videos that he's made. So the ones with the talking heads, David, is that you using the edit video using text feature to do that?
Yeah, I like that, because one of the things that certainly get with Vidnami is this ability is to cut out ums and ahs and things like that, which I think is great. And to be able to edit in real time the amount of information that, when you start to splurge out, verbatim what you're thinking about, sometimes it's not very coherent. So it's nice to be able to go back and post edit that in a useful way.
Great. And do you put your own branding on top of the videos?
Absolutely. Yeah. I find that great. I use my logo on most of my videos. In fact, I used Pictory today to produce a video on helping people enter into heart-brain coherence, which is a method for helping to emotionally self-regulate. And yes, everything I've just talked about, I did in less than 10 minutes.
Before you had Pictory, how long do you think it would take you to do that kind of work?
Knowing my editing skills, shall we say, it would take a long time. Yeah, quite a long time. So we're talking about more of a half day kind of project, rather than something that I could do, in a few minutes.
Have you noticed that you're getting more inquiries or a better engagement on your posts when you use videos?
I believe that we as a society are changing. We're not interested in reading anymore. We just want something that grabs our attention and speaks to the psychology quickly. And so, yes, I think that when I put something that has got a story attached to it with visuals and sound and music, that tends to get better engagement.
We're obviously really pleased to hear that. And many of our customers find the same. You're absolutely right. People don't read. They want to watch nowadays.
They do, but even then they've got the choice, haven't they? So because of the feature on Facebook, when the audio is off, you can still see the text. It's a very faithful transcription of what I initially want to say. I might have to change the odd word here and there, my surname being one of them. It's quite complicated, but once you get past that idea that there will be one or two mistakes, it's plain sailing. It's really, really straightforward. You can make it easier, really.
If you can make a video in a few minutes, then that means that more videos will be made, because many of the people that we talked to said that before they had Pictory, it was just too daunting. So they made 0 videos. And now with Pictory, you can make at least 1 or 2 videos a week very easily, can't you?
Oh, very much so. Yeah, very much so. And what I like is the way you can preview things very quickly as well. And the feature of, the idea that you can just go away, leave the project to render and get an email afterwards. That's great too. Because, I used to have to just sit and watch the thing dialing round and say, when's it going to be done? When's it going to be done? But now I can just get on with my day. Simple.
Perfect. One final question, if I may. If you were talking to somebody who had never used Pictory, what would you say to them, David?
I'd say, really give it a go. It's an amazing product. It really is. And it's going to make your life so much easier if you're in marketing of any kind, or if you're just in the game that I'm in, where it's about trying to just raise awareness to something that people otherwise wouldn't know much about. This is a very, very good way of grabbing people's attention, and in a way that's, really simple and intuitive to use, because the platform is very important in terms of the, how it works, and, intuitively to know I can press this button to get this result. That was really important for me, because I don't want to be reading through instructions and working things out. It's intuitive, and I like that a lot.
David, you've been absolutely wonderful. Thank you very much for spending time with me this afternoon.
Thank you so much, Pete. Thank you.